Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll teach you Cypress Street, written by Todd-Michael St Pierre. On this channel you will get vivid view about other chapters and poems written by many authors and poets. So subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon to get more videos and the notification that when I come online. Okay, let's start with the poem Cypress Street. So now let's start with our poem Cypress Street. Okay, what is a cypress? Yes, it is a variety of a tree. And a street is filled with cypress. This variety of trees, that's why that street was named as Cypress Street. Okay, so now in this poem, the poet once visits this street as his aunt Jem told him more about and gave him a very good view about this street. So he once wanted to visit this street. When he went to the street, he saw that there are no trees as it was told by his aunt to him, but the street was filled with lampposts. Can you tell me why the street was filled with lampposts? Yes, as all the countries are under development, so that's why they cut the trees and made lampposts there. So poet felt very bad that the street is named on trees, but the street had no tree. So he is pleading in the poem that once mayor comes here, so everyone should tell him that he should change the name of the street to Lamppost Street rather than Cypress Street. In further of the video, we will learn more about this poem and have a more clear view about the poem and the ideas and thoughts. Now let's start with the poem. Let's read the poem once. I took a stroll down Cypress Street, the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. The one thing that stood out the most, where trees once stood, there were lampposts. I would never seen so much concrete, no cypress left on Cypress Street. According to my great aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. They cut them down, they took their wood. A treeless street is plumb no good, just like a treeless neighborhood. So tell the mayor next time they meet to change the name to Lamppost Street. See, you read the poem once and you find it interesting, no? It is damn interesting. You will enjoy the poem with me when I will give you a very clear explanation. So what the first two lines are? Let's read them. I took a stroll down Cypress Street, the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. Now, here poet has went to Cypress Street to take a walk. Okay, so he is walking slowly. Here stroll means walk slowly. So he was walking slowly down the Cypress Street. He was going to the Cypress Street and he was barefoot because the hot sidewalk beneath my feet. He thought that there will be trees and many more things as the street is named on trees. Okay, so he went down slowly he went down to take a good walk there and to feel the hot sidewalk under his feet. Okay, like it is always advised, no, that we should walk on grass and barefoot we should walk on grass. It's good for us. Similarly, for that only he walked down to the Cypress Street. The one thing that stood out the most, where trees once stood, there were lampposts. Once when he reached to the Cypress Street, so the main thing which he saw there means the main thing which was stood there, which was actually standing there, were lampposts. And lampposts were standing on whose position? Yes, on the position where once trees used to stand with their heads up. Yes, But now there were no trees. Lampposts took their place. Trees were vanished. Only lampposts were to be seen there. No cypress. Then what the poet said further? I would never seen so much concrete. No cypress left on Cypress Street. So now here comes the question. Can you tell me of which material is used to make lamppost? Yes, true, concrete, as the poet said. Okay, so the lampposts were made of concrete. So now the whole street was filled with concrete only, because on the whole street there were just lampposts, no tree. Okay, so the poet was saying here कि मैंने कभी भी इतना concrete नहीं देखा. No cypress left on Cypress Street. On the Cypress Street there were no cypress. There were no trees, only concrete and concrete. Why? Because there was just lamppost and lamppost. Can you tell me that why there were lampposts there? Why the trees were not there? Why once the street was named as Cypress Street? Can anyone tell me? I will answer this question. See, before the development of humanization and before we humans developed more and made houses for us, before that there were just jungles and jungles. Okay, so once that street used to be filled with cypress trees. Okay, once that street used to have just cypress trees, and that's why that street was named on those trees. And what the street was named? Cypress Street. But as the country developed, so they cut down all the cypress trees and made lampposts there. Okay, you know now what lampposts are? Yes, lamppost, you see that the lights, the street lights on which the street lights are hanging, those are lampposts. So there were lampposts because of the development in the country. So they cut down all the cypress on the street and made lampposts. So it was a sarcasm by the poet given that he has never seen so much concrete, because the street was named on trees and there was just concrete and concrete. So he used sarcasm here. Okay, he was a sarcastic poet. No, he made a sarcasm to the street. What he said further? According to my great aunt Jem, there used to be a lot of them. He had an aunt. Her aunt was Jem. Aunt Jem. Great aunt Jem. So the poet is telling that his great aunt Jem used to tell him that on this street there used to be a lot of trees. Which variety? Cypress. Yes, there used to be a lot of cypress trees. But now there is nothing. So he is thinking that my aunt used to tell me that there were a lot of trees, but I can't see any one of them. See, if one of your relatives tell you a lot about a place, so you get curiosity, no, that I should visit that place, I should see that place from my own eyes. My relatives boasted about that place, I should visit it once. Similarly, the poet also went once to the street because his great aunt Jem told him that there were lot of cypress trees on that street. So he also got curiosity to see that street which had only trees and trees. But when he went there, he saw no tree. He saw just lampposts. Yes. Then they cut them down. They took their wood. A treeless street is plumb no good. Okay. So what he said, if trees are not there, but his aunt told him that trees were there, that means that when the country was developed, so those who developed that street, they cut down the trees. They cut down the trees and took their wood. See, wood is used to make furnitures and other things as well, no? So they cut down the trees and they took their wood. And this street is now no good. It is useless. The street has no trees. So why to name it Cypress Street? It has no trees. So now the street is useless. It is of no good. Plumb no good means of no good, useless. So yes, the street was treeless. There were no trees. So the street was of no use. just like a treeless neighborhood. Just like our neighborhood, if we see in our neighborhood now, we are wholly developed, living in cities and all. We have apartments and houses. There are no trees to be found in our neighborhood. No, easily we can't find trees in our neighborhood. Similarly, poet is saying that it is just like a treeless neighborhood. There were no trees. So now the poet was very sad and angry that the Cypress Street had now no cypress. So in anger and sarcasm, he said to the neighborhood that once the mayor come there to that street, once a mayor, who is a mayor? Mayor is the head of a town. So he is saying to the people that once the head of this town, the mayor, comes on this street, that they should tell him to change the name of this street from Cypress Street to Lamppost Street. And why Lamppost Street? Yes, because now there were no cypress and just lamppost and lamppost. Okay, now here our poem ends. But do you notice one thing in the poem? I will tell you. The main motive of telling this poem was that okay, it's very good to develop, it's very good to learn new things, to create new things, to make new things, but it is not good to destroy the nature, no? The street was once famous because of cypress trees the street had, but now the street has cypress trees. No, because of our development, we destroyed the name of that city, we destroyed our own environment. And we are cutting down the trees. Is it of any use to us? No, they provide us oxygen. And if we are cutting them down, how we will get oxygen? So it was just a sarcasm to all of us that we are developing, but we are harming ourselves as well. We are also ruining our environment. We are also ruining the famous places which are once known for their great environment, like Cypress Street. So what we learned from this poem? Yes, we should develop but should not harm our environment. The things which are famous because of the environment should be remained same and should be preserved. I hope you understand the poem well, and once again please subscribe to my channel for new explanations. Bye bye, see you in the next video.